the Incase slider. The Sedio Innocase.
What's up, guys? It's iRocker77. It's Bennett.
This is American Idol. Alright guys, so on the left, the Incase slider, and on the right, the Sedio Innocase. Let's get into this. So, what we have on the Innocase here is that matte finish. Now, what you guys need to understand is that the slider has quite a few more options than the Innocase here does. Now, there's not a holster for the slider. However, there's the bamboo slider, there's the fragment slider, there's some sliders that have these hand paint, plus there's the metallic slider series, the regular slider series, the matte finish series, the white gloss series. There's all kinds of stuff for the Incase slider. I mean, guys, I'm sure they're making thousands off of this case. The Innocase, you've got some color options, and you have two holsters that are made exactly for the Innocase. But obviously, I have the gunmetal metallic and the black Innocase, and so that's what we're going to be comparing. So looking at lay on the table design, which is the first thing that I just want to look at, on the slider you're kind of tricked, because if you see it, it doesn't look that big. But what you have to understand is that what's actually happening here is this is a very sharp edge, I would almost say. And it's kind of contoured out at a diagonal-ish angle so that you don't see the lay on the table design, but it is there. Now, on the Innocase, you do have a little bit less, but it still does work perfectly. Now, guys, obviously, since we are comparing slider cases, we might want to compare the parts of the slider. So let me slide out my dad's iPhone there and have the Innocase there, and then guys, and I will say that the Innocase, you do have to be careful with the little tabs on the side here, alright? Because they do kind of feel like they might break. However, the slider is a lot more of a hassle to get off. I'll put it to you guys that way. Alright, so let me set the two iPhones to the side here, and let's take a look. So looking at the bottom pieces, on the slider, we have this little tab right here that locks into place. It doesn't really lock into place, but, you know, it goes right there, okay? And then what you have here is, if you look on the back, it's easier to see. You have this black piece here, okay? Sorry, I think that was my dad's phone. Yeah, that would be my dad's phone. Okay, so we have this black piece here, which, if you look, is the gunmetal part comes out a little bit more. I do have a little scuff right there. But it comes out a little bit more so that, and then there's an indention here so that you can slide that in. Now on the Innocase, we have this tab here, which locks into place here, and then these two tabs, which fit in nicely right like that. Now, another thing that is very nice about both of these cases is that you do have a little indention so that you don't mess up with your volume up and down and your silent ringer switch. Now, the one thing, so really, overall, I mean, when they're on the phone, it is a little bit different because there are some features such as showing the Apple logo on the Innocase. But one feature that really does, in my opinion, really make the slider kind of give it a little bit more of an advantage is that the cutouts at the bottom are a lot nicer than the cutouts for this. Another reason why I like this more is because it's a little bit sturdier plastic. This right here, like, you can push it, it's flimsy. So let's grab my dad's iPhone and slide this back into the Innocase. And we will grab my phone and slide it back into the slider. Now guys, as I said, the slider is a little bit difficult to get on, but it's much easier to put in. Now guys, here is one thing that I did have a huge problem with. These rubber rails on the slider actually kind of scratched my phone a little bit, okay? You know what, and screw it, I'm going to go as far as to take this all the way back off and show you guys. So on this you have rubber rails, and then as you guys can see, I'll just take off the bottom because it's on the bottom piece too. On the Innocase you have this felt, okay, and on here you have the rubber rails. I prefer the felt because not only does it provide a little bit more shock protection, but it's also not as likely to scratch your phone or anything like that. So overall, here's my final take on it. As far as in-hand feel goes, I would have to... They're almost even because I like how thin the Innocase is, but then this kind of has just the right thickness to where it's got the more featureful, I guess. You know, that's kind of my take on it. It's like, this is thinner, you've got the matte finish, then again, you can get this in that matte finish, and it's just a little bit bulkier, but it's not a bulky case. Final verdict, this is a little bit cheaper. You see your Apple logo. Your camera hole is not cut out perfectly, but it works. On this, it pretty much is cut out perfectly. Overall, I'm going to have to say the Innocase. Alright? Now, the slider is a very nice case. If you're looking for a case, I would definitely recommend the slider. But I think that as far as, you know, really keeping some protection, but then again keeping the thinness of the phone intact, I really think that the Innocase is kind of the way to go. Overall, guys, it's a close battle, but Innocase is the winner.